Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We're going to take a look at this beautiful new Prospex release from Seiko that just debuted in Japan earlier this month in January of 2020. This is the SBDY049, otherwise known as the King Turtle. Now, I know, guys, I'm really excited about this for a couple reasons. One, Seiko is my personal favorite brand. I love dive watches. I love new releases from Seiko. And this one is cool because they've done a few things that we're not used to seeing from this brand on their more affordable entry-level divers, professional divers. So what do I love about this? For the first time on a turtle, we're seeing a ceramic bezel insert. I think it looks fantastic. We're also getting a little bit different bezel texture here, or grip. There's some new machining that is very sharp. It looks awesome, and it ties in well with this new grenade dial visually. So there's some, there's some nice asymmetry going on there. It's very balanced. We also have sapphire when it comes to the crystal, so that's really nice. There's no hard lux here. This is a sapphire crystal, and there is an anti-reflective treatment layer on the underside of the crystal. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, these updates. Naturally, that comes with a price increase, and I know that's going to be a sticking point with a lot of you. You don't want to pay a premium for having features that you can find in micro brand watches or higher priced watches from Seiko or competitors, maybe from Orient, that already offer sapphire crystals at lower prices. I definitely get that. So this one sells for about 86,000 yen, which is around 800 US dollars, which sounds a bit excessive when you're considering the turtle, right? When this first came out several years ago, you could find these for, about 250 or less, depending on the version that you got, if it was a standard production version and, if it came on a bracelet or one of the rubber straps. So definitely the price is starting to come up, and I think that's natural. Anytime Seiko does an update, be it ceramic or sapphire, or a new dial or bezel texture or something, there is going to be a cost associated with that. And I kind of look at it this way. If you were to mod your turtle, which I know a lot of guys do, they buy the turtle that they like, be it an SRPC, 2523, SRP 777, 775, whatever you like, the Save the Ocean. You buy it, and then you buy a ceramic bezel insert. A lot of times that's loomed, which I think is really cool. You buy a sapphire crystal, you buy the correct gasket to go with the sapphire crystal, and usually those parts are gonna run you around $100 total. If you don't have the tools and the skills to do it properly yourself, you've got to pay a certified watchmaker to do it, and to do it properly with doing a pressure test and making sure you could actually recreational scuba dive with the watch after all the modifications. So usually to mod your turtle, conservatively, you're looking at a $200 investment on top of the price of whatever turtle you end up buying. So in the end, I think it's going to be fairly comparable to what you would pay brand new for an OEM option that has the sapphire, that has the new dial, that has the fun features like the new bezel grip and the ceramic bezel insert. So, I look at it that way. It's really not a whole lot of difference in my eyes. Now, I bought the JDM version. There is a global version. I prefer buying JDM where I can for a couple reasons. I do recognize that you get a 1-year warranty as opposed to a global 2-year warranty, but there's something about having a Japanese watch made in Japan for the Japanese market that I identify with. So this one, you'll see made in Japan on the dial, you'll see it on the case back, and my favorite part, you look at the date disc or the day wheel, which you have English, but I always set it to kanji. I love seeing the days of the week in kanji. It's just, so much more fun than English or Spanish or another language. It feels more appropriate on a Seiko, if that makes sense. Now let me give you some shots in natural light, give you some wrist shots as well. My wrists are 7.25 inches, just a hair over 7.25 inches, and I love the presence. I love the light play. I love seeing the details. This watch, it's interesting because in certain lights, it almost just looks like an SRP 777, the all black. But you get it in a reflected light or direct sunlight, and you really see the ridges of the grenade dial. and you really see the color play and the light play coming off of the polished bezel insert here, the ceramic, and it just looks beautiful. And then as you spend more time at the watch, you begin noticing little details that maybe aren't readily apparent at first glance. Like look at the font here of the silver Seiko logo. I think it looks really sharp. It's a little bit stylized, and it's interesting how they can print that so small on a textured dial and do such a nice job. I like seeing that. And the whole look of the dial is slightly muted. There's a matte finish to the dial. And then if you look at your applied markers, there's a vertical brushing, a north to south satin brushing that's very subtle and very sharp. And it ties in with the brushed hands and the, I don't want to say gilt, but it's kind of like a gilt brown secondary color or accent color when it comes to the diver's text and your seconds hand, the dominant portion of the running seconds hand. So it ends up looking muted, but beautiful. And again, seeing the kanji the kanji day disc is really great. I was a little apprehensive. I thought I would not enjoy the candy bar Cyclops here or the widescreen Cyclops. I thought that I might have to mod this and take this off. I know probably a lot of you guys are in the same boat. But after having it in person, really, I have not been bothered by it. It has not been an issue. In fact, when I look at the face of the watch and I see that magnified feature, I just, I'm reminded of how practical it is. Maybe I'm just getting older and my eyes are aging, but I actually kind of like the Cyclops here, and I'm not going to be taking it off. It's also interesting that there is no hilted sword. They've just taken that printing off at the 12 o'clock applique, and it's just brushed. It's, again, very clean, very organized, and very beautiful. Now let me give you a sense of the bezel action. As I turn this, I do like the new teeth. I think they're a little bit more grippy, a little bit more defined, and the action is slightly nicer than what you'd find on one of the standard turtles like the 777. So I like the upgrades here. Is it worth the premium, guys? Is it worth paying more? We're getting a fairly expensive turtle that has these features. Obviously, that's definitely a decision that you got to make for yourself, where you draw the line. I like it. I think it's a really nice change from Seiko. I like the fact that they seem to be listening to us Seikopaths, where we want ceramics and we want sapphire and we want interesting dials. We want fun color takes and everything. And they're definitely doing that, and they're not crazy overcharging. They're giving an appropriate market correction when it comes to the retail price. I don't think it's excessive. I think it's in keeping with what they're providing us, us consumers. So why do I say that? Well, you look at the market, and can you buy an in-house diver for under $800 that's totally original, that's made by one company down to the hairspring, the luminescent formula, the oils and the movements? I don't think that you can. Really, Seiko, us Seikopaths, we've been spoiled by this brand. We do get a whole lot, even when we're paying a little bit more than what we're used to paying. And it's nice to see them putting in sapphire and ceramics. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get milled clasps that have adjustability or screw links in the future. One can always hope. So anyways, guys, thanks for taking a look at this, listening to my first impressions of this King Seiko turtle. If you're interested in picking one up, I'm going to put a link to the site that I trust, japanonlinestore.com. It's the place where I always get my Japanese domestic market watches. Kenta is an awesome guy. He has awesome customer service. And the reason why I'm always confident in recommending him is he never sends out quote unquote B rank Seiko. So you're not going to get a misaligned chapter ring, bezel, marker. He inspects all watches before he sends them out. He really does a great job. So link in the description. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.